Good evening, everybody. It sounds a little bit different with the headphones, so let me know if the voice is too quiet, too loud, what have you. Uh, Thank you for coming to the stream. I appreciate your support. And let's start this off right and get this linked in chat and pinned. There we go. Well, let me start off by saying hello to everybody. Andrew, KKGG, LJ, good to see you. Mitch, Nora, good to see you. Blonde Bombsheller, Kurt, good to see you. Welcome to the stream. Talk a bit about the fundraiser because, well, we have news. Well, we have increased donations. $1,361 or euros. And Anonymous Neil's at the last stream. Eric, Mitch, Blue, Deborah, Golby, Alexander, Mitch again, Brian Green, K-Bell, Heather, Kathy, Ozzy T, Nikki Hill, KKGG, Linda, another Ozzy, Michael, Mitch again, mine, and of course Roberts was the first one. Thank you all for your donations. 21 of them gave a name out of 33 donations. So to the 12 anonymouses out there, thank you very much for your donations. I appreciate your support for your crane. Couple things with the group fundraiser. We added another member to the team. The total fundraise so far, $113,992.50. Well on our way to getting that 150 goal by New Year's. Let's go down to the bottom here and do a checkup with everybody's. ATP Geopolitics leading the pack, 40,840. War Translated, Dimitri, 21,234. Mercado Media, 14,805. Succumus, 13,284. Rick, holding on to fifth place from Silicon Curtain, with 6,946. Silicon Curtains at 6,901. The Shills, 2,252. Here we are in 8th place, 1,361. Johnny FD, 1,160. Philip Ittner, 784. And PS01, I'll get that off the screen. They talked about him earlier today. Where is it? Hi all, we have a late starter, PS01, who is active on X. He is known for showing extreme videos. This will be his first fundraiser as well, so if you are still on X, go check him out. Again, PS01. And of course, it is a group effort. So thank you everybody for your donations and supporting Cars for Ukraine. and getting these trucks to the troops that need it. Niels is hopping in. Hi, Niels. Oh, I am so this is what I'm thankful for this Christmas is formatting on the news page. Operational information as of, hold on, I gotta move this. My voice sounds so weird with these headphones on. As always, they start with Glory to Ukraine. The 1038th day of the Russians' large-scale invasion of Ukraine has begun. In total, 171 combat clashes were recorded over the past day. Yesterday, the enemy launched 2 missile strikes using 2 missiles, as well as 42 airstrikes, including 55 guided aerial bombs on the position of Ukrainian units and settlements. In addition, it carried out more than 5,700 artillery strikes. 289 of them were from multiple launch rocket systems. That is a huge jump up. A single strike from a multiple launch, MLRS is like 15 rockets, 15, 16, depending on the type of launch vehicle. So when it's, you might as well put a 0 at the end of that to say how many pieces fell. Anyways, that's why I like seeing the MLRSs taken out, among other things. Russia also used 2,400 kamikaze drones to strike Ukrainian units. The aggressor carried out airstrikes in the areas of the settlements of Velika Persivka, Grodiny, Tartutini in the Sumy region, Medvedka in Chernihiv, Nadia, Alexandrivka, Zeleny Gay in Donetsk. Yesterday, aviation, missile troops, and artillery of the defense forces struck 10 areas of concentration of enemy personnel and munitions, destroying 1 control point, 1 artillery system, and 1 other important enemy facility. Over the past day, 2 enemy attacks took place in Kharkiv direction in the area settlements of Voschansk and Staritsa. They put them together, so let's put these together as well. 9 attacks by the invaders took place in Kupiansk direction. Defense forces repelled the enemy's assault actions in the directions of Zapydny, Lozova, Krugalivka, Bozulivka, and Novokrugalivka. Jumping over to the deep state map. Kharkiv, Voschansk, and Staritsa is right here. Going over to Kupiansk. And there were several towns that I did not. Let me just double check the names again. Zapydny and Bus. I'm not seeing these on the map offhand, but Lozova, Novokrulivka, Krulivka. But the two, Bosulavka, is that the one? Yeah, okay. Bogoslavka. That one, and the other one I'm trying to find is Zapyedny. Let's try zooming in, see if anything pops out. I am still not. Oh, actually, right as I was about to say, I'm still not seeing it. Zapyedny is on the other side of the Oskil River. Of course, Russia crossed the river here and has been pushing towards the city. They want to keep running supplies across the river without a bridge. Let them freeze in winter. I hope they do. Moving on to the Lemansky direction, the enemy attacked 25 times. He tried to advance near the settlements of Kopanki, Cherneshchina, Novosurivka, Platonivka, Zelenigay, Drusalubivka, Makivka, Terny, Zechcheny, and Toretsk. Yesterday, the aggressor tried to dislodge our defenders from positions in the areas of Bilgorivka and Hirovki in the Servisk direction 4 times with assault actions. He was unsuccessful. Just Kupiansk is here, just going south. Liman is here, and Zelenigay, Kopanki, Cherneshchina, Makivka, Terny, Novosadova, those weren't mentioned, Toretsk, and I believe that was it for the Liman direction. And Liman is here, Servisk, and Hirohorivka and Bilohorivka were the areas of the assaults of Russia yesterday. 4 assaults took place in the last day in the direction of Kramatorsk, in the areas of the settlements of Chasiv Yar, Stupochka, Bilohora, and Alexandro Sotyeny. Of course, just going to the southwest, Kramatorsk. Let's see if I could find that last town really quick. Of course, Chasiv Yar. Stupochny, Bilohora, and Alexandro Sotyeny. Going directly south of there, we're going to Toretsk. I have a video for Toretsk today, but we'll show that shortly. In the Toretsk direction, the enemy carried out 13 attacks in the areas of the settlements of Divlivka and Toretsk. Divlivka, I'm not sure which one they're talking about, this one or this one, but obviously assaults are happening in Toretsk pretty much every day. Fighting really close, building to building, and I have a video that shows that for you guys later today. Moving into the highly contested area of Pokrovsk, our defenders stopped 42 assault and offensive actions of the aggressor in the areas of Vozdivhenka, Mirolubivka, Promin, Lysivka, Zeleny, Deshentki, Novotru, Tushkanty, Pokrovsk, Novoolinka, Vakovy, Surchenko, and Novotroyesky. It's basically the entire area that surrounds Pokrovsk. Starting here. Oh wait, that's not the first one that they mentioned. Vostivhenka. Vostivhenka is here. Mirolubivka, Promin, Vasivka, Dashenki, Zeleny, Novotrud, Shirkenko, of course, Pokrovsk, and Novo-Alexandrivka. Basically along the entire front area here. Unfortunately, Russia is making gains every day, but it's a few yards, a few meters. They're taking over parts of farm fields and sacrificing hundreds of troops to do it. You know, Niels, you keep doing that, I might just start blocking non-English or Ukrainian in chat. I'm watching you. I do have a video from the Upensivka, Novo-Elizavetivka area. We'll show that later. Moving into the Kharkiv direction, the defense forces repelled 23 enemy assaults. The enemy concentrated its main offensive efforts in the areas of Petropavlivka, Solonivka, Andriivka, and Kharkova. We don't have to go far. Solonivka, Petropavlivka, and Kharkova. What was the other one, just to make sure? Andriivka. Andriivka is one of those little towns that never shows up unless you zoom in. All the way back here. So maybe from this direction. Moving on to the Verminsk direction. My tongue just does not want to cooperate today. The enemy carried out 24 assaults on our positions in the settlements of Yantarny, Vermika, Constantinople, Novi Kumar, and Konstantinopolski. I don't know why it's so hard to just add the ski on the end of it. It just is. Hey, Siri Mara, good to see you. Kharkova is here. And you don't have to go far. Konstantinopolski, Yantarny, Constantinople, and all the way over here to Novi Kumar and Vermika. This situation is getting interesting. Russia controls the roads to the north right now. There's only one supply line coming in, and it is in contested area. It's unfortunate, but such things do happen in war, and unfortunately Russia is sending their entire youth at Ukraine to try and steal the land. In the Gulyapold direction, the enemy did not conduct any active operations. Always love to hear no operations in a direction. In the Orakhiv direction, near the settlements of Novoandriivka, the invaders made one futile attempt to push our defenders from their positions. In the Pridniprovsky direction, the Russian invaders attacked our positions 3 times. Having suffered losses, they withdrew. Mariupol, Orhiv, and Novoandrivka. Going further to the west, over by Kherson, Dniprovsky direction, and just assume that those assaults are happening on these river islands. Even though they do not give us a city name, it's assumed that those assaults are happening in this river delta area. In the Kursk direction, over the past day, our defenders repelled 20 attacks. The enemy launched 424 artillery shells, including 30 from multiple launch rocket systems, and carried out 24 airstrikes, dropping 34 guided aerial bombs. In the Volyn and Polizia directions, no signs of the formation of enemy offensive groups were detected. On the border with Chernihiv and Sumy regions, the enemy from the territory of the Russian Federation is actively using artillery and aviation to strike Ukrainian settlements. Our soldiers are inflicting significant losses in manpower and equipment on the occupation forces and are actively undermining the enemy's offensive potential in the rear. Goes into the losses for today. We'll cover that with a graphic as always. They close out with join the defense forces. Razom Peremojemo, Slava Ukraine. Let me grab the losses for Russia today. Total combat losses of the enemy, December 27th, 1038th day of the invasion. Today, Russia lost 1,650 personnel, getting really close to that 800,000. New Year, 800,000, we're definitely going to be hitting that. 14 tanks, 18 APVs, 49 to go till 20,000. 22 artillery systems. And I showed you guys the video yesterday of the Tor system being taken out. 1 anti-aircraft warfare system, radar system actually. 28 drones, one shy of 21,000. It's a lot. That's a lot of drones that have been sent against Ukraine. 81 vehicles were taken out yesterday, and just 1 special equipment. With that covered, let me grab the speech for Zelensky for you. And
Дорогі українці, українки, коротко про сьогодні. Щойно я провів зустріч з представниками бізнесу України, наші українські компанії, наші регіони, різні галузі, оборонні, аграрні, фармацевтика, банки. Я вдячний всім за роботу в Україні заради України. І для нас дуже важливо, дорогі українці.
I'll get it started from the beginning and get it full screen. Yeah, technology, ain't it fun?
Дорогі українці, українки, коротко про сьогодні. Щойно я провів зустріч з представниками бізнесу України, наші українські компанії, наші регіони, різні галузі, оборонні, аграрні, фармацевтика, банки. Я вдячний усім за роботу в Україні заради України. І для нас дуже важливо зберегти підтримку бізнесу, нормальну роботу українських підприємств, наші робочі місця в державі. Ми обговорили конкретні питання, які обов'язково вирішимо. Економічна основа – це основа і соціального життя, і нашої оборони. Я провів сьогодні ставку. Була окрема доповідь головкома Сирського щодо фронту. Донецькі напрямки найбільш жорсткі. Запоріжжя, Херсон, Харківщина. Деталі щодо Курщини, бої за участю північнокорейських військових. У них багато втрат. Дуже. І ми бачимо, що російські військові та північнокорейські наглядачі взагалі не зацікавлені у виживанні цих корейців. Все у них робиться так, щоб для нас було неможливо захопити корейців в полон. Їх свої ж добивають, є такі факти, і в штурми росіяни їх посилають так, щоб у них було мінімум захисту. Сьогодні
In case you missed that, North Koreans are executing their own people so they do not get captured by Ukrainian forces.
були повідомлення щодо кількох солдатів з Північної Кореї. Нашим воїнам вдалося взяти їх в полон, але вони були дуже важко поранені, і їх не вдалося реанімувати. Це один із проявів того божевілля, на яке здатні диктатури. Корейський народ не має втрачати своїх людей в боях в Європі. І на це можуть вплинути, зокрема, і сусіди Кореї, зокрема Китай. Якщо Китай щирий в своїх заявах, що війна не повинна розширюватись, потрібен відповідний вплив на Пхеньян. Є сьогодні важливе рішення Сполучених Штатів Америки щодо нашого регіону санкції проти Іванішвілі в Грузії. Ми до цього закликали. Україна вже застосувала свої санкції проти цього фактичного правителя Грузії особисто і проти його спільників. Ми не будемо толерувати, що вони здають Грузію під контроль Росії. Важливо зберегти реальну незалежність Грузії. Я дякую Америці за підтримку. Це варто підтримати на рівні всієї Європи, кожної країни, всіх інституцій. Потрібні реальні санкції, справжній тиск на цю групу товаришів в Тбілісі, яким найбільше подобається Москва. Хай в Москві, зрештою, і опиняться. Хороша розмова була сьогодні з президентом Аргентини Хав'єром Мілеєм. Я відзначив результати Хав'єра в економічних реформах. Є у нього успіхи, які можуть взяти і інші у світі. Дуже правильний приклад економічного зростання допомагає усім. Я подякував Аргентині за підтримку України. Хав'єр був на саміті миру, який ми організували цього року. Були 100 держав і міжнародних інституцій, були представлені всі частини світу, і саме так ми маємо рухатись і надалі, залучати до тиску на Росію заради наближення миру всіх партнерів. Будемо збільшувати нашу співпрацю з Аргентиною і економічну, і політичну, і безпекову. Ще одне. Сьогодні був новий формат в роботі всередині країни – зустріч представників національних спільнот. Це і про повагу, і про політику. Кожна спільнота своїм голосом, своєю неформальною дипломатією може допомогти нам всім, всій нашій державі швидше прийти в Євросоюз, швидше досягти результатів в перемовинах щодо вступу України в ЄС. Я вдячний усім, хто саме так допомагає. Це українська мета, яку ми реалізуємо. Обов'язково. Слава Україні!
Героям слава. Covering a lot of things in this speech today. Zelensky's talking a lot lately about the economy. Make no mistakes about it. Ukraine's economy is hurting. In the last year and a half, the exchange rate went from $1 to like 26 hryvnia to it's sitting close to 42 hryvnia per US dollar right now. Ukraine's buying power the people's buying power has been significantly reduced by that. One of the reasons I wanted to go to Ukraine, spend time there, spend money there. You know, a small injection of money in Ukraine does not just mean that small injection. Thank you, LJ. LJ says she tries to buy Ukraine made in Ukraine stuff wherever she can. That helps too, but that's um it's more than that. Supporting local workers is one of the weird things. Um, buying Ukrainian made, it helps the manufacturer, it helps the workers. Workers get paid, bills get paid. That money doesn't have a singular effect. It has an accumulative effect that keeps circulating through the economy. Going to Ukraine and spending $1,000 doesn't add $1,000 to their GDP. It adds that $1,000 and then another $800 as those people pay bills, and then again, and then again, and then again. It just that money just keeps cycling. It's unfortunately, a lot of the money in Ukraine right now is leaving Ukraine to buy generators, to buy drones, to buy parts to make drones. So Ukraine as a nation is bleeding money out of its borders. So any money you can inject into Ukraine helps the economy, even if it's just $100 here, $50 for a cane. There's a cane manufacturer in Ivano-Frankish, takes wood from the forest, carves out a cane, and sells it. They look freaking awesome. There's so many other things out there. Try, if you can, try to spend some money in Ukraine. Of course, donate where you can. They need help with their economy. It is what it is. It happens to every country during a war. Everything's put into production of military equipment, and not a whole lot goes on in the civilian sector. I'm leaving that part of the conversation alone. That's very cool, LJ. You have to put a picture up on Discord or something somewhere. Yeah, YouTube's been acting funny lately. I don't quite get it. But with getting back to Zelensky's speech, he's having a lot of meetings about the economy. I didn't mean right way and like text me directly, LJ. um, Sat there and talked about the North Koreans. Russia and the North Korean leadership is making sure that no North Koreans get captured by Ukrainians. Um, you know, Executing their own people rather than having them get captured. That's um, there is videos of it. I wish I could show them on YouTube, but YouTube wouldn't have a hissy fit. Um, Talked about the peace agreements, meetings with Argentina. Um, this man is active and trying to make stuff happen every day. So hats off to you. Keep up the good work, Mr. Zelensky. And with that, let's move on to Canty Center on Telegram. It's just where I'm keeping, I send the stories here so I can filter through what I can show and what I can't. And two Iskander missiles were sent yesterday. Were not able to shoot either one down. They shot down 13 enemy UAVs. 11 were lost due to electronic warfare. So no UAVs made it to their intended targets. And you'll have to excuse me for this. I usually don't make people pay attention and watch a video, but it's going to happen a lot today. You hear about close quarters combat. Yeah. This is really close. Two Russians are patrolling through a forested area. You see a shot from right here, and the second one is down. The other one goes and takes cover. Well, his cover is literally on the other side of a tree from Ukrainian position. Shooting at the Ukrainian. And the Ukrainian gets his rifle out, shoots back, and that's, you reach out and touch someone distance. I'm guessing that was a failure by a sentry. Basically, someone up here didn't see him, and back here the guys were sleeping. One guy happened to notice him. You see the shot from over here. This guy drops, and that wakes up this guy as he struggles to wake up, figure out what's going on, grab his rifle, and respond. When they tell you the combat is up front and personal, it's up front and personal. Ukrainians were able to make a hole in one. It's a little bit on the disturbing side, but nothing is actually shown. See Russians moving into a trench position, and hole in one. And the FPV drones just come in, blast the Russians, and the two remaining Russians try to flee, hiding out under here. And I guess they had a cigarette break. The mass arson attacks in Russia continue. A babushka decided to throw a Molotov at I think this is a post office or police office. Police officers come out, put out the fire, and everybody's pointing at this lady here. Oh, apparently some Russians are getting tired of the war. Finally. I have a bit of a longer video for you than usual, almost 6 minutes. This is GoPro footage of an assault in Toretsk against one of the high-rise buildings. Ukrainian point of view. Here we go.
Френд, выдвигаемся к вам. Встречайте нас. Давай, пошел вперед, пошел.
Occupied building. Had to clear a jam.
Все на месте, плюс. Вы уверены, что там стоит? Бля, братан, я не смогу тебе сказать. Вчера штурмовали, пацаны, двоих забаранили, а там... Ну, вчера 4-го года штурмовали абрикос. Я хуярил отсюда, вон валяется. Ну, так если паук, вылазят туда понизу, по второму этажу, понял? Ну, там, да, на угол выходят. Да, вот, пошли. Выходи! Тихо, стой. Пошли, пошли. Выходи, ура! Жить будешь! Защищаем половину первого этажа, на четвертую. Аферист, отходи. Работай сбоку четвертого, сбоку, с другой стороны подержи. Мы на третьем.
FPV coming in as they're doing the assault and clearing the building. There was the FPV hitting the building.
Взял плен, я взял плен пидора. Я взял плен пидора. Ты один?
Oh,
Один?
Smart Russian gave up.
Беру в плен, сейчас опрашиваю. Я так понял, что ты потерялся, да? Да ты не вели куда-то, вели и все, и бросили потом. Сука, сами всякие. Понимаю. Здание зачищено на 100%, задачу выполнил. Закрепляюсь, выставляю спешки.
Well, as you see, building's 100% secured. One building in Toretsk.
На мою землю идите! Я вас... Вот... Кто-то кричал, что работали прям по нему. О, последний! Вырывай! Последний!
And you catch the end there? I believe that's an MRAP, and obviously had drone jamming on it. Got close to the vehicle and just fell. That is... No, he was speaking, well, Russian, but that was a Ukrainian. But FPV is FPV. You know, the main goal of Russia in this war is to steal all the toilets.
Перемотайте его, чтобы довезли.
And it's still going on, just in case you haven't seen it in a while. The Christmas memes continue. I thought you guys would enjoy this one.
Ho, ho, ho! Hi, Russians! Here are your presents! Happy New Year! Holy shit!
Все?
Все. Цель уничтожена.
Правильно. Не нужно нам ничего иностранного в нашем небе. С Новым годом!
И тебя, дед. Всех с Новым годом.
You guys are wild with the jokes in chat. I figured you guys would enjoy that little meme from United 24. I'll ask you guys if I should play this. It's a 19-minute video by United 24. 2 days with an artillery unit of the 154th near Voschansk, up north in Kharkiv. Let me know if you guys want to sit through that 20 minutes. And that's the last video I have, unfortunately, today. Let's see. While you guys are answering back, let's see what else is being talked about. Finnish border guards boarding the oil tanker of the Eagle S. This is the ship that damaged the underground or the underwater cables. Slovak Prime Minister threatens to stop supplying electricity to Ukraine. Yeah, Fico. I don't care how his name is really pronounced. It's fecal. You know, he is fecal matter. Okay, I need someone else to answer besides LJ. Okay. Well, here we go, diving in. 19-minute long video. 2 days on the front.
Winter is here, the third one, and when winter comes, all the roads are either frozen over or wet. This war turns into more of an artillery war. It doesn't mean the other elements cease to exist. There still are drones, tank battles, assaults, close quarter combat, all these other things, but it's just a lot more complicated. So the sides dig in and start to pound each other with big guns. That's why we've decided to embed with the artillery of the 154th Brigade. We're going to visit their positions, we're going to visit their command posts, and we're going to speak with the men about how they feel, about how their work is going, and what they think about the future.
Скажіть, будь ласка, яка найважча частина вашої роботи?
A difficult question, to be far away from your family. You get used to a lot, to the shooting, but you don't get used to worrying about your battle buddies who are at the positions.
Ніколи не привикнеш.
You worry about them more than you worry about yourself.
за себе, як переживаєш за них. Катран, 2 маленьких, я у вас.
Плюс.
Alright, so we've arrived at the guys' working position, and this is their tool, the Gvazdika, which is a Soviet-designed artillery gun. This one was delivered by Poland. It's tracked, actually, but as you can see, they use it like a static gun, and that's because it's way too dangerous to move anywhere because of all the drones and everything that's flying. We're waiting for the command to fire, and until then, we're going to try and understand what it feels like to be an artilleryman in this war. We're going to spend some time with the guys who live, 5 of them, just in this tiny hole dug out a couple of meters from the gun.
Roma, who is from southern Ukraine, is the commander of this unit of 5.
Тут у нас навідник.
Here we have the scope, the lever for the gun. This moves the turret. We receive coordinates, for example, 350. We calibrate, wait for command, insert the charge, and shoot.
І як багато амуніції може бути всередині?
36 plus 4 cumulative rounds. But we try to not load the gun too full, so if we get hit, the explosion is not too big.
Suddenly, during the interview, the men received the command to fire.
Гармата до бою!
And the engine growls.
But in the last second, the command is cancelled.
Точку виключи.
Машина замаскована, екіпаж в укритті.
Плюс-плюс. Пока с нами в течение дня поработаем.
Плюс.
So we've been here half an hour, and it was already quite eventful. They were just showing us the gun, and then they already got the first command to fire, but it was cancelled. Then in the end, no need. But it's starting to smell nice here in the trench, so we're gonna go check out the mini kitchen they have and see what the men are cooking for dinner. Це кухня,
Типа, да.
А ви завжди приготуєте? Або?
Да.
Да, поминайте. А що є сьогодні?
Фарагу буде.
Да? Ви скучаєте з нормальної життя або це до вас?
Ну, як сказати, я тут як вдома.
Да?
Да.
Ви тут як вдома?
Да, я вже досить довго на службі, то я мені тут як вдома.
Скільки років?
11 рік пішов.
О, до повномасштабної війни.
Да.
Ну ви воєнні, скажімо так. Так.
Був командиром міномета.
Yeah, I was a mortar commander. 65th Brigade in Zaporizhia.
Потім звільнився і
After a year and a half, I left, and now I'm here.
другу бригаду.
Чому ви поміняли бригаду?
Уходив за нехорошими обставинами. Брата був
It was a hard time. My brother died.
в одному
We
зводі.
were 3 brothers serving,
Я
and the oldest one got killed.
одного самого старшого у нас 200-го. і
I was given the right to
мали право
demobilize, so I left.
звільнились.
But after 6 months at home, I returned. I realized there's nothing left for me at home. When you're here, you want to go home,
Тут знаходишся, хочеться
but
додому.
as soon as you're home, you want to go
Попадаєш
back.
додому, хочеться обратно. Затягує. Ну,
You just can't sit around and watch from the sidelines.
Okay, I want to pause this for a second because the translation that's coming through is not what he's saying. He says when you're here, you can't stop thinking about home, but when you're home, you can't stop thinking about being here with your brothers.
So this is a dinner time, cooked by the great chef Mikhailo. Tak? It's canned meat and cabbage and oil, and there was something else, cut onion. Tomato paste. We're waiting for bread. Surprisingly sophisticated for French food, and in a real bowl, so that's always nice. Дякую.
Потрібно?
Можна мені теж. Так.
Нужно.
I can't complain.
Яка обстановка?
4-5-0.
Ветеран плюс.
After dinner, the sun sets and we wait.
This is the dugout in which they live. It's actually quite comfortable. It's pretty warm. I saw in one of the comments under our story, someone asked if this is against thermal signature imaging. It's not. It's really just like an isolation mat so that it's a lot warmer. The guy says without this you really feel the difference. Apart from that, they have 2 stoves, one gas and one with fire. And this thing, EcoFlower, this one is a Blue Yeti. This is the most important thing because it gives the guys connection to the internet via Starlink. There's a generator out back. With that, they charge it, and then here the guys can charge their phones. They have some kind of connection to the outside world. And that's what they said is the most important and what keeps them from killing each other, because the only really uncomfortable thing about this place, I mean, apart from that it's in a trench in a war zone, is that there's 5 of them in this room, which I think, you put any 5 people into a small room like that, tensions at some point are about to get high. A це цукорок, tak? This little black box, this is something that searches for signals of drones in the area, and it tells you if a drone is close, and it also tells you what kind of drone. Це типа тебе скажет, есть дрон и какой дрон тоже, да?
Yeah, it recognizes supercams, Landsets, Navics.
Suddenly, another command comes to the radio.
Прицел.
Плюс-плюс, крайне. Гармата отбой, укрытие.
After firing 3 rounds under the cover of darkness, Bontar returns us to the command post to spend the night.
Повтори. Плюс, я понял, пока, если что, остаемся на тех же установках.
Yeah, that's the
Если что,
sugar
будем
cube.
отрабатывать.
Back at the command post, where we are, and the hunt for Russians continues. On the television, you see the usual feed of reconnaissance drones belonging to this brigade that give an overview of the sector that they're meant to control.
Тор, прицел. Прицел. Плюс навести, доложить, готовим зменшення.
And this is the commander of the artillery battery. He identifies goals
I
from
was
the
thinking the
stream or
same thing,
objectives,
Star
and then he
Wars,
assigns. They have different
Hoth
artillery
battle.
systems set up. We only saw the one position today. He assigns the best artillery gun for that objective, and then he passes on the coordinates and gives the order to fire. At the same time, you can see it's kind of like it's a private house. Serves not just as a command post, but it's also where the guys sleep. That's the war in Ukraine. It's way too dangerous, too obvious to set up big bases. We are around 15 kilometers only from the front line, so FPV drones fly here. It means the soldiers have to kind of hide in normal houses, to avoid getting spotted and, as a result, then shot.
Aside from the war going on the screens, the evening is a time for winding down, joking, and a heart-to-heart talk.
Як думаєте, важко буде повернутися на
Це буде проблема.
Yes, it will be a problem for everyone, not only for us. Because while we're fighting here, our families are fighting at home. My oldest son can't speak with me via video call.
Чому?
Because he's scared. His school grades went down when I went to war. The war is visible in all of us. My wife lost almost all her female friends. One called her and said, "I have no idea what I should say when we speak." These days, when you go home on holiday, you just want to spend as much time as possible with your close family. A while back, you might have wanted to go drinking or something with your friends, but now it's just family. Everything else I put aside. When I'm sitting with the godfather of my child, we're just just two different people. You say something or you stand and listen, but you don't understand anything.
Інша реальність.
Yes, different universe.
So yeah, it's been a long day, and the usual mix of emotions, a lot of laughter and jokes, but also a lot of sad stories. Then of course the fighting, shooting with big guns at people, at Russian enemies of course, but still, it's not, it's a sad necessity. And after a long day, finally, as my mother would say, it's sleepy time, and we're going to sleep here on the floor. Not crammed like sardines, it's fine, but yeah, 5 people on the ground in the improvised kitchen between onions, pickled cucumbers, and salo, as you can see on the table, which is the classic Ukrainian delicacy, pig fat preserved in salt. And then tomorrow morning, back out into the cold, back to the guys who were staying at the position in the tree line. It's early and everything is fine. Another day of work.
там ожидаете, к вам выехать?
Ты неопытный.
Зараз підемо заведемо.
Да.
Я поставлю, почну зарядити.
Okay, 7 a.m. Just a quick morning tea and coffee. Guys are preparing for work, throwing out old chargers from yesterday, replacing them with new ones, fixing the net up here with the machine, and yeah, then the waiting game begins again for the first command.
While the gun is warming up, Buntar brings new ammunition.
В чому полягає ваша ось підготовка машини? Що ви робите?
Витягуємо гільзи, убираємо і...
Unload the used charges and insert new ones to be ready at any moment.
І сітку.
Та не в небо, на суперов. Справа.
Okay, so it's foggy, which is good and bad. It's good because Russian reconnaissance drones are going to have a hard time spotting us. And the guys say it's too foggy for FPVs to fly, which is really good because that can fuck you up. I mean, we're 10 kilometers behind the front line with artillery, but FPVs nowadays, they fly that easy. So fog good, but bad, of course, because the other way around, we are having a hard time, or Ukrainian drones are having a hard time spotting targets.
Що треба перечекати туман, щоб почати?
Ну так, пташка не бачить.
Цілі.
Не видно.
But that gives us a bit of time to show you around this tree line. So that's the guy's sleeping place. Here's the generator, which is also covered up with diesel. And obviously there's a bit of distance between that and the dugout for smell and for safety. When we just spoke with Mikhailo, he said the most important thing when you get a new position is a good toilet.
Самі тяжкі періоди – це підготовка позиції. В першу чергу це в нас копається туалет.
Voila, le toilette. Actually, not bad, and the branches are surprisingly clean, so the guys have good aim. War is not funny, but some things, elements of it, they are.
After completing all the preparations, Roma tells us about the time he lived under Russian occupation.
Можете мені просто ще трошки розказувати, як це був для вас, і як був життя під окупацією? Ну, ваш досвід там.
Ну, зразу, як перша колона заїхала, було...
In the beginning, when the first column of Russians arrived, there were 97 vehicles who passed through our village to the neighboring one, where they stayed. After 2 days, they came to us. The price of goods like sugar and cigarettes skyrocketed from 60 to 120 hryvnia per packet. Some people were rebuying single cigarettes for 5 hryvnias per piece to resell. The Chechens came also in 6 or 7 BTRs with machine guns. In groups of 5, they entered the houses and rummaged through everything.
The rest of the day, we wait with the unit for the command to fire. The hours creep by, slowly, here in this tree line surrounded by the thick fog. Outside, smoking cigarettes, or inside the bunker, perched on field beds. Then, we eat lunch made by Chef Mikhailo, and after that, again, we wait. But nothing happens.
Yum, yum, yum.
Yeah, standard thing in the
Ми вже
military. Hurry
приїли,
up. Wait.
разнообразія треба. Ми макарони дуже часто їли.
Якби був вибір, що ви зараз хотіли поїсти?
Наверно, макарони.
After 2 days with the artillery, our time here is coming to an end, and we're going to say goodbye. In the whole time we were here, the guys only shot 5 times. 3 times when we were filming and 2 times when we were at the base. What you see in the internet, often on the Telegram channels or on YouTube, that's the success, right? That's when everything works. But artillery life, as we learned, is so much more. A lot of waiting, a lot of factors. Today the weather was what stopped us from finding targets and shooting them. It's a much more difficult job than it looks like on the internet, and we hope that through our report you kind of got to understand that and feel a bit closer. We're going to say goodbye to the guys and wish them good luck and head home.
We hope you enjoyed our report. If you want to donate to the artillery of the 154th Mechanized, who are continuing their fight while you are listening to this, you can do so via this QR code or via the link in the description.
Well, thank you to United 24 for putting that video on Telegram so we can watch it. Appreciate it very much. And, we didn't cover the air alert map today because there's nothing to cover. Clear skies over Ukraine right now. I'm very thankful for that. Do a quick check of no new updates on our page. 639 euros away from the next spoonful of horseradish. Let's get an update on the main page. 113,995. So we're inching our way just like the US is inching its way to the metric system. That's the only link in the message. So it goes to the YouTube portion of that video. I'm guessing you could find the links there. That's, news. I forgot to do the news. Let me just refresh this so we get up to date. Yeah. Zelensky talked about this. North Korean soldiers that have been captured died from his wounds. Can Europe switch to a wartime mindset? Take it from us in Ukraine. Here's what that means. It'd be interesting to... Europe needs to get into the wartime mindset. That's definitely true. Poland is. Latvia, Lithuania, Estonia, they know they're next on the chopping block. Well, not next, but they're lined up like the onions getting ready to be chopped by Russia. Georgia knows it's coming. People are still protesting in the streets in Georgia, trying to get the fake leaders out of the fake elections that put people in place that shouldn't be there. They're still protesting against that, trying to remain a free country. Russia's working hard in Georgia. Moldova as well. Yeah, Europe needs to open their eyes, because if they don't think it's coming, it's going to be there sooner than they think. We need to not fail Ukraine. And Because if we do fail Ukraine, yeah, Georgia's going to be next. Moldova, right there with Georgia. Ukraine's delayed Putin, but he still has his eyes on reconnecting to the Baltic Sea, closing the gap between the Black Sea and the Carpathians. So if you're in Europe and you don't have a wartime mindset, best get it quick. Covered this yesterday. The Germans Leopard 1s finally making it to Ukraine. Yeah, we already covered the meat wave attacks. New York Times apparently thinks Ukraine is slowing down the missile fire into Russia because of Trump. I don't think so. It's because they're running out of missiles and we haven't sent them enough. Yeah, Bloomberg. Yeah, naysayers about Kursk operation. Rare earths, another reason we mustn't allow Russia to win in Ukraine. Yeah, rare earth metals like lithium. Ukraine right now is mining, I think it was 60% of the lithium in the world. Not anymore. So apparently another 1.25 billion in weapons to Ukraine. Let's see if this is paywalled. United States is expected to announce that it will send 1.25 billion in military assistance to Ukraine as Biden administration pushes to get as much aid to Kyiv as possible before leaving office. Okay. Earlier this month, senior defense officials acknowledged that the Defense Department may not be able to send all of the 5.6 billion in aid that's already been approved by Congress. We've already said we can send it, and it just didn't get sent. That's where we're failing. That's where America is failing. Hey Vlad, how's it going? Yeah, did you get a scooter for Christmas? Of course, Trump, everybody's talking about Trump saying he'll end the war in 24 hours. You know, it's been more than 24 hours. We all know he's full of crap on that one. At least some of the people that he's put there to find out information has told him the truth, and he's starting to realize what the situation's like. Hopefully he realizes it before it is too late. With that, that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you for coming to the stream. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate you guys being here. I especially appreciate you supporting Ukraine. With that, have a good night and stay safe, everybody.
Youth for
Good night, everybody.